So, if you were asked the question, I'm gonna put you on the spot now. If you were asked the question, what is the heartbeat of restoration? Who is restoration? How would you answer that?
I would have to say the heartbeat would be first family, and restoring, um, pointing people to God. Even every sermon, the songs, the messages is pointing people to God, because we never want people to look at us. We're thankful we're just vessels being used by God. So pointing those people to God. So the heartbeat of number one is making sure their hearts are turned towards God, pointing them to God, and that we are a family. We are a family, and we're concerned about family.
Very good. I'd have to agree.
Well, good.
Um, as I stated earlier, it's been good, but it hasn't always been easy.
Right.
There have been many great challenges.
Yes.
One of the
Yes.
biggest challenges, and I really wanted to share this, one of the biggest challenges, I think, for the entire First Family has been being able to lead in ministry. And because we are relational people, when people pull away from the ministry, it has a certain impact on
Mm-hmm.
you. Because we are relational, you're like our family. And so when that happens, one of the biggest challenges and struggles, even within our home, has
Yes.
been adjusting to that
Mm-hmm.
and helping each other adjust to that,
Right.
because it
Yes.
may be someone that she's more attached to that I'm not as attached to, and then they leave and I can handle it better than her, and she's wondering, well, why are you not handling it the way I'm handling it, and vice versa. And even with Darius, at points, it has been that way. So it's not always easy. We don't ever want to paint a picture for you that it's easy.
No.
It has been very challenging emotionally, physically,
Yes.
spiritually. I can remember at one point telling God many years before this even came about that I didn't want to be responsible for anybody but myself. And here it is, you have the souls of these people on your shoulder and it becomes
Yes.
a weight.
Yes.
But even in all of that, I still say it is the most rewarding season of my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So, where are we now?
Wow.
10 years
10
later,
years later, in a good place.
in a good place.
To God be the glory.
Yes, yes, in
To God
a
be the
blessed
glory.
place, in a healthy place, in a prosperous place, and it's simply because of the hand of God on our lives. Recently, and of course, everybody knows that COVID-19 hit the stratosphere and the atmosphere and the earth, and it just really
Everything.
sent
Yes.
everything in a whirlwind, and then it's just like everything spiraled. And so, in the midst of that, God said to me, "Full speed ahead." And I was like, God, what do you mean full speed ahead? He was like, you got to push harder now than you ever have. You've got to keep your nose to the grind. You cannot focus so much on what's happening in the world that you can't focus on what I am trying to do for you and the ministry in this season. And so we kept our nose to the grind. Of course, we had to stop for a minute fundraising and talking about that because people were losing jobs,
Mm-hmm.
losing income,
Yes.
losing their homes, losing loved ones, and the world was just in turmoil.
Mm.
And so what we had to do was redirect our thought process.
Mm-hmm.
We had to focus on ministry that was going to build the people
Yes.
of God, and leave the other stuff to God.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tell you that even in the midst of this COVID
My
19
God.
season, we were taking care of God's business, and God said, if you do that and you stay focused, I will do for you what I told you I would do
Mm.
for you 3 years ago. And so here we are. Just recently, we were able, through the help of you, the parishioners
Yes, yes.
of Restoration and our friends and partners. We were able to go to the closing table. We raised the $100,000 that we needed to raise
Oh my
in the
God.
midst of
God
a
did it.
pandemic. God did it. We didn't know how he was going to do it, but God just opened the windows of heaven and poured out on our ministry right in the midst of a pandemic. And
Yes.
so we were able to go to the closing table and close on this building. It is officially ours with a
My God.
a solid loan. God has given us a plan and a strategy to pay it off early. And so we're just excited about what God is doing in this season.
Yes.
And I think one of the reasons we wanted to share that is to help you see that even in the midst of a crisis in life, a crisis in your life, God will take what the enemy meant for evil and turn it around and make it work for your good. And so here we are at the closing table. This building belongs to us. We are not so strapped to a mortgage that we cannot do the work of ministry. And again, that is because of your giving and your efforts and your partnership.
I'm just amazed. I just feel like, God blew our mind in regards to the 10 years and what just happened with raising the $100,000 and being able to go back to the table to do the business. This next dimension of what God is getting ready to do, I think it's going to be also mind-blowing. And it's all about you and your family, your children and your children's children.
And so that's why the whole theme of today is believe for it. Believe for it. Whatever God has spoken to you, whatever he has put in your spirit, whatever he's called you to do, whatever your dreams are, whatever your ambitions are, there may be sickness in your body, whatever it is, the goal in mind for today was to tell you to believe for it. The next dimension is coming. But in order to get it, you've got to believe for it. God bless you.